I had this great background in martial arts and had a great love for it, and still do. And I had this film in my head for years. I just didn't think anybody'd ever want to see it.
The ABC story was good. And the characters were believable, they were funny.
We started talking about this script, and he got this script immediately. He just got it. He just totally...
He was a dream come true.
We didn't even talk about deep philosophies. He just talked about how cool Daniel was and how funny Mr. Miyagi was, and he just got it, and that was the end.
Before I had cast anybody, I had Ralph come in. I had met with Elizabeth Shue a couple of times, and I brought the two of them to my apartment and had them sit and shoot the breeze, put on some music. Why don't you kids dance?
We had talked about the kid. I said, he has to be a wimp, but he has to be a wimp with a chip on his shoulder. And he said, I think I found our kid. I'm sending him down. And about 10 minutes later, there's a knock on my door. I open the door, and there's Ralph with an attitude.
I had heard that they were auditioning this film called The Karate Kid. I'm like, what kind of lame title is that? The Karate Kid was, you know, Saturday morning television. I don't know, what is
this kid saying? Oh, this kid is so obnoxious. He's but sweet, but obnoxious.
I think Elizabeth Shue was there that day. And so he put us together. And we read a bunch of scenes together, and we just kept doing it. We ad-libbed.
And I thought, if there was ever a more unlikely pair than these two. And, you know, one was the strawberry shortcake, and the other one was the cannoli. And they had no business together.
They really had cut off a few inches.
He took my home number and called me the next day, the day after, said, you know, we still have to jump through a few hoops here, but unless I find Spencer Tracy out in L.A., you know, you're my guy. I would take some karate lessons.
And the studio suggested Toshiro Mifune. And his Mr. Miyagi was a scary Mr. Miyagi. It was full of dignity and Bushido and all of this stuff. And it wasn't quite right, but, you know, he's a big name and everything else. And then they had Pat come in and read, and everybody was saying, a stand-up comic, Arnold from Happy Days, who? And he came in and just blew everybody away.
Never once, never for one instant, before, during, and since, did I ever have a sense that I can't do this part.
Had my little video camera set up. I said, any questions? He said, nope. I said, okay, do it. And I'm looking through the camera and I'm saying, this guy is this guy.
I don't know how, I don't know where it came from. Miyagi voice, Miyagi presence, Miyagi spirit emerged.
And I was told I have a whole week to play with it. The next morning I get a call. Be on the set at 12 o'clock. John Ellis wants to see you at the high school in Northridge. So I was so angry.
He was a little miffed because he had to wait so long before so he had a lot of resentment going in, which I think he used to advantage.
You don't come into my dojo and drop a challenge and leave, old man. Now you get your boy on the floor. Or antique or not, you and I have a serious problem.
So I go in there and John Alvison's there. I say, John, you're a real asshole. We as actors wait years to meet directors of your caliber. We fire our agents, we fire our managers, and here I'm given 5 days to prepare, and now you want to see me in minutes. I said, you're a real asshole.
What are you looking at? Finish him! We do not train to be merciful.
Mercy is for the weak, here and on the streets. And I go right into it.
An enemy deserves no mercy.
He loves it. He sits back and he lets me go and he says, go see Jerry Weintraub, the producer. That was terrific.
Too, and it goes across cultural and national and economic, religious lines, and works on a very human level.
Man who catch fly with chopstick accomplish anything.
You ever catch one?
Not yet.
Pat Morita is just he's a stand-up comedian, so he just has an amazing sense of comedic timing. And Pat just had that great balance as a person of real empathy and compassion, but also a way to lighten up the situation, lighten up any kind of moment, not let it get to that serious place.
It becomes, I'm giving you exactly what you want, but you just don't understand it yet because there's a layer to this meaning. There's a depth to it.
It's great. As I'm talking about this all these years, I grab these visual pictures of shooting this stuff and then seeing this stuff. It's, it's fun.
There is something wonderfully instinctual about fine directors. You know, that they trust what is coming in frame.
The elements of the story evolve so clearly when John is directing.
We'll have, okay, improvise the dialogue, go. Okay.
He gets the characters, the people that he knows are the people, and then he just kind of keeps you in bounds.
Looks like we're not the only ones having fun, Johnny.
Yeah, who's that?
Down there, Ollie.
Okay, and then
John edited so well. John scoped out the conflict.
If he feels it, if it connects with whatever the hell goes on in him, he just lets it go.
the Cobras are getting on their bikes to get out of here. Freddie and his group are walking off, and Daniel is left in the sand, and Susan is consoling Allie. The time when you finally get the camera set up. All right, let's try it again. And all the lights and the people there, and you got 2 minutes to do everything, is such precious time that once you get that magical environment that's only there for a few minutes, and then, okay, next, and everything goes away, and that magical place is now gone.
We'll tape it. Here we go, on tape.
So when you get him in there, take advantage of it. It comes in and he sees Mr. Miyagi drunk, looking at the picture of his wife from a long time ago, and start talking about his wife and child that died in childbirth, and the Congressional Medal of Honor, and all this stuff.
Is this your wife? I don't know you were married.
Damn beautiful, don't you think? I get a call one day from Jerry and John, the studio executive powers that be, want to throw that scene out.
I thought it was a terrific scene. No, cut it. It just stops the movie. Let's keep moving. And that was the scene that got him nominated.
I'm like, wait a minute. It's the only real moment of Miyagi's audience and atmosphere and people cheering in the back. There were 500 extras.
It was really intense, but when we got to doing it, and with the stands and all the people, you know, and my parents were up in the stands, and my friends, and you know, it was just this electrically charged set. It felt like the real thing, like this was really happening. I mean, it was like 20 cameras. I don't know where John hit them, but you know, it was like go and do it over and over and over.
He had the cameras hidden under the thing. Here, shooting that way. You could never know that he had his cameras and crews placed so that you could ever spot them or see them.
The crowd would boo me. Cameras were not rolling and the crowd's booing me. And I would sit there and I saw my mom actually in the stands crying. He's not like that, she told me later. You know, she's trying to tell her, but he's a nice guy.
It was everything every kid ever dreamed of. You knew you were going to win the fight, and you were in this arena of excitement.
The choreography was just intense, especially for two guys that didn't know karate. You know,
we worked on that constantly and getting that choreography down. Billy Zabka was wonderful. He was very athletic, much more athletic than I was.
1 point, winner!
As far as the physicality, we had a trainer in martial arts. His name was Pat Johnson, and he would work with us in class format and in one-on-one.
Pat Johnson trained us together every day. We would do our workout together. We, you know, did push-ups in each other. We fought each other. We sparred each other. Then they would go home, Ralph and I would do our choreography.
Yeah. Don't hit him with it. Right. Put it on his chest and then push him.
Yeah, like you're giving it to me.
Right.
Oh, so I almost have it.
Right. All right.
The fight choreography in the Karate Kid films, or any kind of fight choreography in film, is that. It's choreography. So having a background in physical movement and dance certainly helped. I have very long limbs, long arms, long legs. That also helps. Makes it look better than I'm doing.
A lot of practice. Pat Johnson, who was our martial arts guy, had worked with him, and And that all that stuff was all choreographed, and just like what we did with Rocky. And you practice, and you practice, and you do it some more, and you do it some more. You don't figure out how to do it the day you shoot it.
You know, everything was choreographed and re-choreographed and choreographed and re-choreographed, which is often the case till you get it down to everybody's happy, all the creative collaborators are happy, and that's what you want.
Pat Johnson, he found in me Johnny. I didn't know martial arts. I didn't know the right attitude from the wrong attitude, but he found in me the Johnny in me, and he pretty much built him. He kind of molded me from clay. In the workouts, in the mentality, in the way, you know, he would have me do push-ups on my knuckles. If I turned around, he'd sweep me to the ground. He would teach me the way I should be taught, and then he'd also show me how Kreese would teach me.
He taught us so well that this physical training manifested itself.
You feel terrific. I couldn't be more pleased.
Everybody has seen The Karate Kid. Everybody knows Mr. Miyagi. Everybody knows wax on, wax off. This, I've never approached, I mean, I've written some big films afterwards, but I've never approached anything that pure since.
What the movie did for the world of karate was so important. It made everyone aware that this wonderful discipline is so educational for your soul, not as a fighter, but for your soul.
We did these films together, and they bonded us.
I think everybody had the same intention of making something good and making something that made a difference and doing a good show, and everybody had the same focus, and there was just some beautiful spirits that kind of came in that.
It just felt like we were all put together for, you know, a reason that's, you know, and that was to tell this story.
It brought me a family. A family of wonderfully diverse people and backgrounds. And I'm not simply referring to caste and the powers that be, but a beingness of belonging finally to this family of earth people.